Hey everyone, Jamie here, back with another video. This is a very quick tutorial video on how you can set up Visual Studio Code to use your Claude Code so that you can work with Claude Code specifically in their tool. I personally find it's a lot better. I don't actually use the Claude Code itself inside of the web version of Claude or the desktop app version. If you are already using that, but you have not stepped into using Visual Studio Code with the Claude Code extension, then stay right there. I will show you how to set that up. The first thing you want to do is you want to go to code.visualstudio.com, as you can see here, and you want to download this for Windows. Note, if you do not use Windows and you use Mac, you can also try other platforms. I also think this tool works with Linux, if that is something you do use. I don't use Linux. So you can just click on other platforms and it should load the other options that they have available. You can see there's Windows, Mac, and Linux as mentioned. Now there's other things here too. There's previous releases, there's VS Code for the web, meaning in the browser, and then you can just see their latest changes if you're curious about the actual tool. So what I suggest you do is download the specific one that you want to use, right? And then you want to install that. And so I won't show you how to install it. That should be very straightforward on your system. Let's pick up on what you do after you install. So now I have VS Code open, and you're probably wondering what this actually is if it's your first time. This is just a coding software. A lot of software engineers and developers, they may use this to write code. It's a lot easier than using other tools and softwares out there. There's obviously different varieties. There's anti-gravity as an alternative. There's also Cursor. And then there's many more that people have the preferred choice of. And so I got into VS Code not too long ago, maybe 2020, 2021, which is like 5 years. And I find it really great for the things I'm trying to do. Now, for this video, I already have the Claude Code extension installed on the left here. But what I will show you is how you can actually install it. On the left, you'll see that there's an icon here called extensions. When you mouse over these, it'll tell you what each one is. And when I click on this, you'll see that there are other extensions that are installed that the actual app tells me about. But you want to search for Claude Code, and it would show you that specific one on search like this. And this is verified by Anthropic, by the way. Almost 20 million downloads and 720 4-star reviews on an average. So you will notice that there will be an install button here. You will install it. And when that's done, it'll most likely prompt you, or it'll show you the main Claude Code extension page, which will ask you to sign into your account. So the big thing to remember is you want to make sure that you're logged into your Claude account on the web browser, because when you go into VS Code and it asks you to sign into your account, it wants to verify your details. So you'll be able to click a button on your actual Claude Code account, and it will sign you in. And then you'll be ready to go. And then what you can do with this is you can open up the Claude Code little panel here. I actually close this. I also close the build with agent. So I have like a full interface view for myself. I keep things really simple, by the way. I don't overcomplicate stuff. I can click on new session, and then it will open a tab here, which is sort of like the actual Claude Code website where you have a chat. Now, in this video, I won't cover the CLI, which is the terminal. And so if you're not familiar with that, I can explain that in another video. But essentially that is using Claude with something like this, where you would type Claude. When it's set up properly, it'll then run. It's going to ask if we trust the folder. And again, I'll explain this in a future video because I have a folder open. And then from there, it'll load every single thing. And then here it is, up and running. And mine's a little different because I have a couple different extensions that I install as well, so I can see certain things. Like this here, my context window, my usage window within a 5-hour window, and then my weekly usage window. This is custom. So all these things will be covered in a future video, but I don't want to overwhelm. This is just a basic Claude terminal CLI for doing work with Claude Code. But you don't have to do it that way. You can actually do it the way I showed you with this, where you have a chat here and you can just type something like hello, and then it will act the same way like Claude would and Claude Code would on the website. So that's pretty cool. I'll do a deep dive on how you can actually use Claude Code itself in another video. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment section below, and I'll see you in a future video. Bye-bye.